Managing a data center, it's kind of like, I don't know, trying to wrangle a room full of puppies, right? Servers, storage, networking gear, cooling systems, they all want attention, and they all need it. So today, we're diving into how Supermicro is trying to, simplify all of that with their system management software suite, particularly their main platform, SuperCloud Composer.
Yeah, Supermicro is really going for that single pane of glass, that dream setup everyone wants, which, let's be honest, is a big deal when you're dealing with so much complexity in data centers these days.
Totally. Who wants to juggle a dozen different tools when you can have it all in one place, right? But before we get into how SuperCloud Composer actually works, let's talk about the problems it's supposed to solve. Our sources, they really paint a picture of what data center managers deal with every single day.
Oh, for sure. Think about it. You've got different vendors, different generations of hardware, and every system might as well be speaking a completely different language.
Ugh. Yeah, it's like I can only imagine the headache.
Right. And that lack of standardization, it just makes everything take longer. Monitoring, maintenance, it's all a hassle.
It's like trying to follow a conversation where everyone's speaking a different language. What are you even saying?
Exactly. And as data centers just keep getting bigger and more complex, especially with Redfish API becoming more common, which, by the way, is a standard for managing this modern IT infrastructure, things get even more out of control.
And I'm guessing security becomes a bigger concern too when you've got all these different pieces.
Oh, absolutely. More systems, more potential vulnerabilities. And when data centers are so interconnected, that's a huge risk.
So it sounds like Supermicro saw all of this and was just like, okay, we got to fix this.
Exactly. And that's where SuperCloud Composer steps in. It's all about trying to bring order to the chaos. Supermicro is promising intelligent data center management all from a single platform, so you can see everything. Servers, switches, GPUs, storage, the whole 9 yards.
So instead of a million different dashboards, you get that one view that shows you everything that's happening.
You got it. And it's not just about seeing the data, it's about control too. Think about their power distribution unit console. You can go from a rack level view and see exactly how much power individual servers or even individual components are using.
No more hunting down that one server secretly running a Bitcoin mine.
Exactly. And that kind of granular control helps you optimize power usage, which is good for your budget and the planet.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about security? Does SuperCloud Composer do anything to address those concerns we were talking about earlier?
Oh, absolutely. Security is built right in from the ground up. We're talking SSL encryption for data, role-based access control so only the right people can make changes, and they've made sure it integrates smoothly with Active Directory systems.
So it's ticking a lot of boxes. Simplified management, granular control, robust security. But there's one more thing we need to talk about, and that's liquid cooling. With all this talk about AI and all this high-performance computing these days, heat is a bigger deal than ever, right? So managing that heat is almost as important as managing the tech itself. So how does SuperCloud Composer actually handle all that? Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Like traditional air cooling, it's just not enough for these power-hungry systems anymore. Liquid cooling is kind of becoming the standard. But the cool thing about SuperCloud Composer is that it doesn't just monitor the liquid cooling, it actually integrates it into the whole platform.
So wait, so instead of needing a completely separate system to monitor and manage that liquid cooling infrastructure, it's all pulled together under the SuperCloud Composer umbrella.
Exactly. And what's really cool is if you dig into the details, you'll see SuperCloud Composer goes way beyond just basic temperature readings. It taps into the cooling distribution unit, the CDU, to get super detailed info. We're talking coolant flow rates, pressure levels, they even have leak detection, and it's all visualized in a way that actually makes sense.
Hold on. Did you say leak detection? Because that sounds like, I don't know, a nightmare for anyone running a data center.
Oh, it definitely can be. But that's where SuperCloud Composer gets really smart, really proactive. Let's say there's a leak in a cooling loop. The system can send out an alert immediately so the right people know right away. But it goes even further. You can set it up to take action automatically. So say if a leak is detected, SuperCloud Composer can just shut down the affected system. So what could have been a huge problem just gets stopped before it even starts.
Okay, so now we're talking about not just preventing meltdowns, but really optimizing how those liquid cool systems are running.
Yeah, exactly. It's about having that level of control, that detailed insight that lets you manage things day to day, but also keep an eye on the long-term health of your cooling. And as we use more and more high-performance computing, that's only going to become more important.
So we've talked about a lot, like how to manage the craziness of the data center, the whole liquid cooling thing. And it seems like SuperCloud Composer is trying to be like the one tool you need for all of it. But, some people listening are probably thinking, okay, but what does that actually mean for me?
Right, because it's all about the benefits, right?
Exactly. So let's say you're an IT admin. You're the one who has to make sure everything's running smoothly. What's in it for you with this SuperCloud Composer?
Imagine, instead of always putting out fires, you can actually see what's happening across your whole system. SuperCloud Composer lets IT admins get ahead of those problems. Like they can see something going wrong before it becomes this huge issue. Plus, it makes those everyday tasks like maintenance go faster, which means you have time for other stuff.
It's like less time fixing things, more time actually making things better.
Right.
That's got to be good.
Yeah.
What about the people, actually paying for all of this? What's the advantage for them?
Well, for the data center managers, for the business people, it's pretty clear. It's all about efficiency, less downtime, lower costs. Remember how we were talking about, managing power down to the tiniest detail? That means you're saving money on energy, which is good for everybody.
It's like squeezing every last drop out of your energy budget, which
Yeah.
who doesn't want that these days?
Exactly. And then there's the fact that it can grow with you. So your business grows, you need more power. SuperCloud Composer can handle it. It doesn't matter if you're running, typical stuff or you're going all in on AI and big data. It can do it.
So you're set for today, and you're set for whatever comes next. Now, one thing that caught my eye in the material we were looking at was this line about capabilities on the roadmap. Anything you can tell us about what Supermicro might be cooking up?
Well, I can't say for sure what they're working on, but Supermicro definitely seems focused on pushing the limits of what's possible with data center management. As technology changes and as data centers need new things, I think we're going to see SuperCloud Composer do even more.
That's what's so cool about this whole area, right? It's always
Yeah.
changing. So if you're as curious as we are, definitely check out the links in the show notes. We'll point you to Supermicro's website and some white papers they've got that go even deeper into all of this.
Yeah, because knowing more about the stuff, that's how you stay ahead of the game.
For sure. Until next time, keep exploring the world of tech, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.